on the 2025, 26
Oh,
budget.
hold on, we're not,
Oh, yeah.
yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I do that all the time.
No
Jump the gun.
worries.
I'm old school.
So
Very
we're being
old
very
school.
slow tonight.
You do it again, Gene, we're gonna let you go.
That's my final warning, right?
Final warning. Can you make it another 45 minutes, right? You're like, I got this.
That was good, that was good.
The YouTube is really slow, isn't it?
There's some wild stuff going on. There's probably all those
We're
poor
like, no.
kids.
Yeah, they're home.
They're all
Watching
being-
play.
They got a
We're
jam.
fine. Everybody's watching her.
Okay, that sounds.
Okay, are we on?
Yeah.
We're good to go,
Yeah.
all right. So we're back in open session now, and, this is request for any oral or written testimony prior to the closing of the hearing. Having received none, we'll close the public hearing on the 2025-2026 budget. And we need a...
And then we also need to close the hearing on the general fund
There it is.
appropriation. Yep,
Okay.
Yep, the next one.
All right, thank you. So then we will close the public hearing on general fund appropriation, debt service appropriations, and special revenue appropriations. Public notice affidavit and publications, Mr. Rocco.
Yeah, so, I'm just including these in here. I don't know if I can, have it here. Okay, so this is just, I wanted to include the affidavits as part of doing any of these public budgets on there, you have to, publish it in, a publication that's in wide circulation around the places that you're serving, and you have to do it within a certain number of days. This normally gets included in the budget itself, it would be in the approved budget. We did not get the affidavits back from the newspaper in time to make it into the approved, not the adopted budget. So I just wanted to get it in the record here. Secondarily, we have a similar notification due for the supplemental budget, which is the increase in appropriations. And I just do want that on the record somewhere, just so if the auditors want to look back, they see that it's listed somewhere, because there is no actual publicly filed document you have, so I just wanted the record to reflect it.
And we can make note with the auditors that we are not selling a
I was
motorcycle.
gonna say this.
That is just an advertisement that was on this page.
Rocco?
I would be very disappointed if Rocco sold our agency motorcycle. That we actually do not have, that was a joke for all those people watching.
But there's that camper.
How did I not hear about agency motorcycle?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And the camper. Yes, okay. Rocco. Okay, so,
That will bring us to the first resolution that we are looking for, so that's 02-24-25, and this will be for the supplemental budget. And this is, again, starting on page 18 of the packet. And this is what I sent out in the memo, page 19, that shows the changes in appropriations that we're looking for the 2024-25 year. You'll see it is an expansion in the overall budget, and the expansion in the overall budget is related to two things. It is related to us receiving additional Medicaid administrative claims, so these people here did too good of a job again this year, and we didn't put enough in the budget to send all the money through, so this just gives us the additional expansion of it. Notably, this does not mean we are spending money we don't have. This is actually, we are receiving this cash in and then sending it on to the district. So it's not a use of any funds that we have already appropriated. And then secondarily, there's a little bit in there, oh, sorry?
Oh, no, I was gonna say, so this is for 24-25, correct? Not for 25?
Yeah, for this current year,
For this
yep, that we're just
current,
wrapping up, yep.
Yep. And then there are some other changes that are going in there mostly on a net basis. So we're just taking things out of certain categories and putting them in another one, just to give us room to close the year out and make sure that we're not over appropriation. The one that I'm just gonna call out is in the general fund. You'll see that $500,000 in other debt. This is that GASB 87 thing we ran into last year, which is the new accounting pronouncement as to how you have to account for software. So we don't know what that expense is going to be this year. So Sean and I put our heads together and we said, how much should give us a really comfortable amount of room in order to make it through? And we said the $500,000 should do it. Again, it is not an actual appropriation. It is an accounting entry. In the accounting entry, if it goes through, there will be a revenue that shows up along with it and a use that goes there, neither of which signify any receipt of cash or use of cash. Welcome to accounting. And any other questions I can answer on there, I'd be happy to.
And then you'll see the recommended action is right there under number 2 if you're looking for a motion.
So I move to adopt Resolution 02-2425, adopting the supplemental budget and updating appropriations for fiscal 24-25.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 02-2425, adopting the supplemental budget for updating appropriations for fiscal year 2024-2025. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, now we're on to number 3.
Number 3, this is the resolution for adopting the budget. So these are the appropriations numbers that come along with the approved budget that we did in the last meeting. So this would just be adopting the $85,209,700 that sets forth our budget for next year, with no changes to what we did in the last session.
Okay, so moved. Motion.
I move to adopt resolution number 03-2425, adopting the budget and making appropriations for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Seconded. It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 03-2425, adopting the budget and making appropriations for fiscal year 2025-2026. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
All right, and finally, 042425. There is a permanent tax rate in Oregon, but we still have to actually declare it each year so that we can file it with the counties and make sure that the taxes are able to legally be charged. So the rate is 30.49 cents for every $1,000 assessed. This is the same resolution year in and year out, district after district.
Does this ever get increased? This is no matter what,
Yep.
It's strictly
forever
We
and
just
ever?
have to sign it
Strictly procedural,
year over
but
year.
If it doesn't happen, there's actually trouble that comes along.
Okay. I just thought, like, what if, like, in 5 years it goes up? So, because, you know, some people are like, why are my taxes being increased? Like, ours stay the same.
No, the rate stays the same, the tax.
The tax
Oh,
value, the tax value
I'm like,
goes
the
up.
money is not like,
Yeah,
okay,
it still
okay.
goes up.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
it still goes up, but I mean, the rate.
just the
that,
rate.
When people do come to us, it can be like, the
You,
rate's the same.
you can say, we haven't changed the rate,
Okay,
it's
yes,
exactly the same.
yes, okay.
Okay. So we need a motion from,
I move to adopt resolution number 04-2425, proposing the tax rate and categorizing taxes for fiscal year 25-26.
Seconded.
That's your rate.
our motion takes, you know. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 04-2425, imposing the tax rate and categorizing taxes for fiscal year 2025-2026. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
With
Okay.
that, I will thank you all as I crash into the end of this year and worry about this again at the end of December.
That's right.
So we don't get the Albany paper anymore, but it did pop up somewhere. So they're moving the elections department. They are. So on the old Mills building that the Lane County bought, they're moving all the elections department in there, they have room on the bottom floor, because there's already so they'll be, so if you go to the courthouse, you won't be finding, like you, yeah.
Good to know.
Yep,
Yeah,
Lisa,
yeah,
yep.
and apparently one of the reasons is because, Steve Druckenmiller did not want any electronic devices, you didn't have to go through metal detectors and dump your pockets, so he was insisting to stay there. So it sounds though, maybe once they get that office moved, and you go to the courthouse, you may be going through metal detectors and such. Anyway, but that was, it's like, wow.
Interesting.
I'm glad our county's got money. Anyway, sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a great segue, because we're talking about elections. And we did get these numbers from them and, our other two counties.
These are righteous. We've
Yeah.
dealt, yeah, okay.
We have, received the official, so these are the official election results, and so, this is one of those, kind of like the tax rate in a way, Miriam, a little bit of a formality that, not that any of you could change these election results at all. Hello, Michael.
Sorry, I should have expanded in
But
your area.
the board does need to accept the election results.
Ah.
Michael's here just in time.
So Michael's here just in time, to accept the election results. Yeah. Exactly, so you can see the, sample motion there, right under number 5.
I'll take this one. I move to accept the May 20th, 2025 election results for Lynn Benton Lincoln ESD board position.
Second.
It's been moved to accept the May 2025 election results for Lynn Benton Lincoln Education Service District Board position. Are there any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? So, okay. Is there anything from the board on any reports?
Yeah, we brought the OAESD Spring Conference, because I know that we were a little rushed last time, if anybody wanted to share anything else about the conference, but we just had a shorter board meeting because of the budget. Other than that, just general reports you could have. Yeah. I think that, I'll share just one thing, about the OAESD Spring Conference that I think, we're going to continue to see as we go to conferences, are ways that AI can actually make our jobs, more efficient and easier. And so I went to, a session that Northwest Regional ESD put on, of how to use these, chatbots that they were doing. And then it was really interesting, and in fact, I mean, we've been using AI more and more. There's a lot of things, I just look at the amount of prep time, for bargaining and digesting information and everything, that it's been really, really helpful. And so we'll continue to learn, those things, but that was some good learning for me.
Is there any reports on the in-service, how that went?
Went very well. It was short and sweet, but we, had, all of our staff together and present, and got a chance to celebrate, years of service awards, as well as our retirees. We had more retirees this year than we've had for the last couple of years. I think there were 9?
Well, 6.
Oh, that's true, 6 present, and then 3 that weren't in attendance that had retired earlier in the year, and they said, no, thank you, we're retired, not coming, back, so.
One person who's been at the ESD for 40? 40?
Yes, 40 years. Yep, absolutely.
Their first and only job.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Isn't that incredible? Yeah. One thing that we did, because we just weren't able to pull off doing a make your own t-shirt thing this spring, but Nathan really did an amazing job for you as board members to give some swag to all of the staff. So they all got to pick a t-shirt, so this was one of the t-shirt choices.
Elastic one.
Yep, then there was this option, which is kind of cool. And then, this was actually, I think, the most popular one.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, with the
Wow.
man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so, People like T-shirts. They were excited about their T-shirts, so those were given, from you, the board to them, so. Yeah. And, oh, yep, and there's some there if you'd like a T-shirt. And then thank you to Amy and Michael for attending and, representing the board. It was a great event.
Seeing that idea come to fruition.
Yeah.
I would just say I appreciate you all being there. I apologize for missing it. You know, it happens.
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
Anyway, life goes on.
Thank you for asking about that, Mary.
Anything else, or?
No, I think we're ready for moving on to a program report. Okay. So why don't we have, so Liz is gonna come forward. Yeah, so we have Steve Martinelli as, Director of our Strategic Partnerships for Student Success, our interim director, and Steve, why don't you take it away and tell us what we're looking at here today?
Well, I think Rocco kind of introduced it better than anything, that we have to do a supplemental budget tonight because of Liz's work. He tried to give us credit, and let's be honest, Liz has done this work, and her wealth of knowledge. We just had a meeting with IHN and some folks, and there was like leadership from OHA there, leadership from IHN, from Samaritan. The people she's able to pull into a room because she knows the letters and what they mean and all that great stuff, has been extremely helpful as well. So I'm gonna let Liz talk about MAC and how it generates funds for our districts and for LBL as well. And then, I wanna apologize, I thought we were supposed to get one of each of the shirts. I'll bring a couple back.
You can have the extra shirt. As long as you wear it every day for good advertising from LBL.
Everywhere I go.
Everybody is. Front and back.
Yeah, we can put on the back, your tax dollars at work. There's Martinelli underneath it. And then the tax rate, yeah, that's right. Your tax rate never changes.
The tax rate did not go up.
Hello, everyone. I think I was able to meet some of you at the resource fair. Some of your faces look familiar. So, and then I did see Amy. I noticed you at the in-service on Friday. So I'm Liz Wallace, part of the SBSS team. I've been at the ESD since September of last year. So it's going on 10 months now. So you should have some information about what we call MAC, Medicaid Administrative Claiming.
It's on page 25 of your packet, 25 and 26.
You're going to see it looks a little different if you're looking at it digitally versus the printout, because I'm not a graphic designer, and Nathan helped me afterwards. We did a little bit, so, okay. So, there's just a little different, same information on there. So, Medicaid Administrative Claiming, just, that flyer's got some real cute, lovely highlights about how we've done this last year specifically. But I wanted to just go into a little bit more detail about really just the movement in the last year. So, school-based health services has two sort of entities for Medicaid. One is the Medicaid Administrative Claiming, MAC, and one is direct service. So when I came on, I learned all about Medicaid Administrative Claiming. It was new to me. So the MAC, what we do essentially is we administer the program for our districts that want to do it. So it's optional. We have 8 districts right now, soon to be 9, I'm pretty sure. We've got a new one coming on this summer. And then we also do it for our own small group of staff members. So it is a program that just kind of recognizes and allows for districts, also some public health offices if they're interested, so it's not just for schools, to get reimbursed for any administrative activity they do that helps promote the mission of OHP, the access to OHP. So all of the Medicaid here in Oregon, for students, it's K through 12 right now. And in the past, it was available for EIECSE, and that went away, but I heard this year that they're hoping to bring that back soon. So in total, I've got 9 that I sort of oversee and manage and help. I would say it has been really fun to see a lot more interest with staff that have already been doing it at some districts and a lot more ownership over it. So some of the success is just, just some better metrics has been really trying to get them to recognize all the stuff that they're doing that they just didn't quite realize. So giving them a lot more support and education in regards to it, and then trying to be a little bit more in person, trying to do training instead of doing Zoom, which is really efficient. I found going on site allows for a lot better questions and handing that some of the materials has been really, really welcome. So I'd like to keep doing that. One thing I just learned is we can actually go on site the day of a service. So the surveys are all random, but as an ESD, all of the things that I do, there's kind of like 3 layers of overview. I do have permission to go on site, which I think is going to be really helpful. There's some same-day stuff that happens that can really get captured, and just support the team better. So I wanted to just say our internal smaller group of participants here at ESD, so our staff members that are student-facing, or they supervise people who are student-facing, K through 12, that's where I'm just really thrilled to see the growth of just participation and really just increasing claims and recognizing that some of the really long meetings that we have with our behavior consultant team, with our FSLs, those are all things in regards to just management of mental health services, SEL, supporting kiddos. We get to claim that as codes. So I think that's something that really helps. I am not Rocco or Sean at all. So when I was looking at numbers and pulling some stuff for our small max that we do here, I was comparing 2022 and 23 school year to the school year that we're just wrapping up right now. And I ran it a few times, but I have a 540% in our revenue for our internal max, which I think is really, really cool to just sit back and reflect. A 1-year growth was like 140% from 23, 24 to current. So, those are the funds that we get to put back into students, whether that's salaries that we can help with, or like the sensory toothbrushes that we have now, that we work there.
I remember now. I got one of those for my kids.
One of the things we get to do is those funds. Now, the districts that we help support, and that's the match that we provide for them, and just all of the assistance and oversight, a lot of our districts are doing really, really well. The conference annually that happens with OHA happened about 4 weeks ago, so I got to meet with all the other ESDs that manage it for their districts and then some outlying districts. And it was really cool to hear some stuff, but I was really proud that our district got a call out for what we're doing with the MAC funds. So out of all the ESDs there in all the school districts, there's an annual report form that OHA uses on legislative sessions on the floor, and they said that our districts are the ones that they love to talk about, and they send them. So that's something like GAP uses it for their MAC team, which is really robust, which is a cool thing. Lincoln County continues to staff their HSAs with their MAC funds. So it was really fun to also share that with the districts. The people that do the MAC coordinator work, that is not their only role. They hold many hats. So the time that they put into it and just the training they do with staff, it's nice to, just give them some credit. So I think right now the other thing to highlight is the state notified us a few months ago that we were going to exceed the amount that we were allowed to claim, essentially. So it's a 5-year contract to administer MAC to our district, and I think we were going to exceed it by about $3 million at the time. So they increased it from 24 to 28 million. That means just made a bit much, and they gave us an extension. So we'll be able to close out the year claiming everything and be okay. And then the next 5 years, they bumped it up to 46 million. So it's pretty significant. Yeah.
No pressure, Liz.
24 to 46 million in the next 5 years is really cool. I'm excited about just showing up in person to the district. I really do like the feedback I've gotten from them about, we want this, we don't need this, could you help us with this? So I'm trying to be as supportive as I can. I will say there's a lot of transition right now in some of our districts, with some superintendents and some staffing changes. So next year, I feel like I'm gonna have to, probably rely on leadership. Steve's been great, which is having some superintendent knowledge. We have some of our smaller districts that I feel like they could be doing a lot better, and they haven't quite grasped onto that, but they are the ones that wear many hats. So trying to tap into leadership and trying to show them what they can do is going to be a fun challenge, maybe. I think, I just wanted to touch also, MAC is fantastic, and our districts, Lincoln, Benton, and Lynn, all of their actual reimbursement comes from a really kind of simple but yet intense algorithm of how much time they spend on those duties on a random day, and what is the actual Medicaid enrollment percentage for their district. So we have we've got 2 of the highest percentages when you look at the state, 2 of our counties, and then we've got another county that's actually much on the lower side. So our average at LBL is 76%, the state average is 71%. That's our average of our 3 districts, but like Lincoln County is 96, almost 97%. So 9 out of 10 kids in the classroom are on OHP, using OHP services. And that's what helps really boost the revenue.
Yeah.
They give you a bit of a discount depending on certain activities that you claim. So those numbers, I don't think those are gonna be changing anytime soon. I think they'll stay pretty steady with where they're at. And then, like Steve mentioned, MAC is probably what takes up, I would say, 60 to 75% of my time and effort. But there's a lot about just Medicaid in general and supporting our MSLs and trying to make sure they know as much as they can know about resources and just programs that OHB has also been something I've been trying to really just get as much information out as possible. There's a lot in regards to school-based fee-for-service Medicaid that's changing. It's a really big expansion that started about 18 months ago. Some of our districts are starting it, some are not. So my goal the next year is just to continue to learn as much as I can about it, because there is potential for some really good revenue, especially any districts that have some really high need kiddos. They've never used Medicaid for it. The biggest thing to just kind of talk about is now any OHP student, whether they're IDA or not, can receive those services. Whereas before you had to be classified as an IDA system disability. So it really has opened the door. There's a lot of expanded services, very focused on behavioral health, which is a really big piece of schools. So big barrier, we're just not having a lot of providers right now. So if schools would like to kind of tap in and provide those roles, it's an opportunity for a lot of districts to increase their revenue. And we'll keep kind of plugging along at that. But if you have any questions, Mac, really it's not as complicated as what it sounds like when you look at the initial CMS manual. And then at the end of the day, sometimes it is a little complex. There's a lot of things that are gray. It's a federal program, but they let each state administer it. So our state's got some interesting takes on some things that make for, I'm glad that there's 3 levels of review. So everything that kind of gets claimed gets looked at really, really closely and kind of goes from there. So I say I'm really thrilled that LBL decided to kind of create a bit of a position that had some more bandwidth to focus on Medicaid. Whereas before there was admin duties, I think it was a really wise decision to do that. And if you guys ever have questions about Medicaid, especially just if you're hearing stuff in school settings, your own kids, I'm going to leave my card at that table. If you think of something or you just have questions about MAC, anything that you're out. I like talking a lot. I like the rules, I like the regulations, and I like the funds that we are earning for our students.
Really great, yeah.
I want to call without being a little too humble here.
I was just going to say that, so thank you, Rocco, for starting that out.
So just to give you a magnitude here, from 2021 through 2024, we were averaging on the order of between 4.5 and 5.5 million in claims. She has us up to about 8.7. This is not a small add to our district. It's massive.
Yeah.
It is really massive in what it does, and I think that, again, Liz mentioned, the investment in this position, but this is what it looks like when you have somebody who is really, really good at their job. And so, hiring Liz we were very lucky to be able to hire her into this position and be able to have it be a full-time role, and you can see the benefits of that. So, yeah, I mean, we will toot your horn for you, Liz. She is really incredible, and you think about this in terms of it's this is an unsung sort of resource for our districts that I think that more and more they're realizing, there's money on the table here that we are just beginning to tap into, and this is something that we can help that with.
And I just want to call up, when you come in a little bit newer to the education setting, lots of Medicaid experience, healthcare experience, but the school setting for me seems been extremely monumental, just explaining some of the politics and some of the relationships and the history and context of the district. That really did help with just kind of knowing how to approach certain situations. So I feel like both of us coming in at the same time was really, and then Sean also has been really patient and explaining everything. It's all of us.
That's right, it's a good team effort.
Be gracious word as well.
That's all we're seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, thank you.
OPEB after this next school year gets going again, you'll have all the 12 component districts.
I think so. I think right now there's a lot of fear with just the federal government and Medicaid, so there's some hesitancy to do some investment and maybe start some stuff. That's really the biggest feedback I've gotten. OHA continues to stress that they're committed to children. They've got some real strong language about eliminating all inequities for children by 2030. That's their goal, the governor and the director of OHA. In regards to who is still getting Medicaid and who's getting coverage, on the West Coast, Oregon has the most liberal amount income-wise for children to be on OHB, and they say they're still committed to maintaining that. So I'm hoping some of that will help some of those school leadership that feel like risky right now. The other thing is the federal match that we do, we're actually spending money with the federal government. So very different than your fee-for-service Medicaid in the community. So all of the states that participate, that send that 50% match, it really is just helping the federal government throw a larger and larger amount of money to send to different places. So it's a unique model of billing Medicaid, and I don't think it's going away. I think there's definitely going to be some cuts elsewhere, but this is something that's so vital, and really continues to show itself.
But we have a lot of communities that are low poverty.
And I'm with you too, Jean, the more we can add, district that's close to our heart is being added, that's the district she's talking about adding. So, yeah, we're definitely jumping on that.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, it's like, how can we get the buy-in of the other 3 districts to understand how important this is going to help them? It's like, what, because you said some of them are scared to do this, so how can we talk to them and have them understand how this is going to help their community?
I think they're seeing it by, it is a little bit of that bandwagon thing that, you know, you get some of the later adopters and the talk at the superintendent table. I believe that Liz will get them all there, very quickly here. It is, once they see, oh, wait a second, how much money did you get? It's coming together.
I think one of the things is one of the things like in SIO, the superintendent role has been interim, this, that. So now that they have a superintendent in place, then, and they've moved and all that, I think once the dust is settled, then I think for that district in particular, it'll be easier then to make contact, and Kim's a sweet gal.
Oh, yeah, they're already on board, they're
so
looking forward
it's
to
just,
starting.
so something like that, that's one of the 12.
Yeah.
And it's just circumstances right now, I hope, that has not prevented, but they haven't exactly solved.
And I think another district, Central Lynn would be another district that has had similar, circumstances that they will get there too. So, yeah, I think, I am not at all worried, and it's because of the great work that Liz
And I'm
is
gonna say
doing.
Central actually started this year,
Yeah.
so they've done.
Oh, they just started, okay, great.
They're only having 12 people participate for the first survey, and it's phenomenal. I think I put it in here as one of the highlights, because they were, really surprised. They almost got 22,000 net.
Oh, that's excellent. I was just looking at their one that wasn't on the list here, so, yeah, great.
Great.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you so
I do
much.
Thank you.
wanna add, like, real quick, like, I know dealing with Medicaid is, when I used to work here and talking to some of the SLPs and some of the people that did do the billing for Medicaid, they would talk about how frustrating it is and how time consuming. And to hearing now that we have one person that does do that, it kind of eliminates that, you know, time with, you know, staff. Now they can focus and do evals and whatnot, kiddos. But also having someone that knows the code, knows how to bill it, I think it's, you know, really important. So I'm glad we do have someone that.
And we'll still be working through some of the challenges that you're talking about. It's actually a different type of challenge, so with, on the administration side of things, with what Liz is doing, there are still those challenges that we'll have to do when you start looking at the direct fee for service and how people take notes and things like that. But that'll be something that, as people learn, and I went to a breakout session where Liz was not one of the official presenters, but I think ended up presenting just as much, sitting in the front row at the OESD conference. That we will work we will work through, I think, some of
Okay.
those challenges that are there, yeah.
I mean, this was back when I was here.
Yeah, and you know what, some of those challenges are still there, and, you know, we can work through those barriers and figure out how, you know, even through a technology solution, Tim's been working on in terms of how notes can be captured, so there's things in the works around that.
And then I just wanted to do a little plug. We're trying to really strengthen our relationship with our Medicaid PTO here, which is IHN, Community Health Network. So they're the ones who actually provide the OHP benefit. They're really similar to an ESD, essentially. There's different PTOs, they operate the same, so we're trying to really engage with them, to get them to understand what the needs are in schools. And there's some possible, hopeful opportunities to work on with some funding for them that they have. So there's just some things in August, hoping to have a back to school kind of with the superintendents to get them
That'd be
to
great.
IHN to start with, and then also to a spiel about MAC and some other stuff. So it is about just relationships and letting some of the dust settle for some of the districts that have just gone through a lot.
Yeah, that'll be great, yeah, keep in touch about that, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Have a great summer.
Well, thank you.
I'll be here all
I'll
summer.
be here.
It's going to be a great summer, you'll be here.
Right. Where else would you rather be? Don't answer that.
This is my retirement.
There you go.
And thank you guys for everything you do. The shirts were lovely.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. CSP.
Okay. We did that, so we're down to,
I think I'm up
Fun
again.
and hard.
I think I'm up again here. All right, let's go straight over to page 30 and take a look at the revenues we brought in from May, which miraculously was only 18 days ago. All right, we took in about $1.3 million worth of revenue. The majority of that being the state revenue sharing that came in. You'll see a minority of funds coming in from elsewhere. What's going to happen, we will close out the June figures in July. You're not going to get a really clear picture as to what revenues were because we have multiple months in order to collect on grants before the year is closed out. So if you're taking a look at that, where is that current year-to-date to annual budget, and you're wondering, my goodness, why is that special revenue so far behind? The answer is because a lot of stuff comes in from an accounting perspective after June 30th. But other than that, everything else is on target.
Thank you for clarifying that, because that was actually the question I was going to ask.
Yeah, I got you. Expenses, we're looking at, was just shy of $5 million for the month for expenses. Just to peel back the onion on that a bit, $845,000 was transit, so that is us sending $650,000 out as part of our Tier 1 distribution for severe disabilities to our districts. That is distributed on a count of students that they have in a given year, so that can really vary year by year. And then you see a little bit of the special revenue transits out as well. That's us sending $196,000 down to South Coast ESD, as they are a sub-grantor on the Cascade Regional Grant. In addition to that, up at debt services, you'll see that $391,000. Happy to tell you that we paid our debt this year, so we are on track with that as well. And absent those, we are pretty much on track for our normal kind of $3.4-ish million expenses per month. This next upcoming month is going to be an expensive month because we have a lot of payroll that goes out in June. So we'll see some catch up on those expenses as well.
And that payroll is, because we're paying staff, the ones that have summer off, the summer,
Yep.
definitely. Yeah.
Precisely, yep.
Yep. A lot of it is all at once. And then, scrolling down, let's take a look at the cash report on page 32. Let's never take our eye off the cash. We have just north of $20 million sitting in the bank, $19.2 million is collecting interest. You'll see that we paid off our note payable, and then scrolling down one more page just to see our cash balance trending on there. we are essentially at that flat level. We'll see that kind of move up and down on a trailing 12 basis from here. We're not anticipating any large swings in cash coming up anytime
You
in the near
missed
future.
it.
I really miss you, but more important, the doors are locked and our keys don't work. Oh, my wife, Dan? Okay, thanks. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Walking around the other door, trying to tell me where it's at.
You're not important enough.
I tried my key and it only works in my office, I guess.
More important.
Funny.
You just missed us so much, okay?
That's right.
That's all I have for you. Any questions for me on financials for May? Jean, you want to grill me one last time?
You know what I think I'll do? When I can, I think I'll come back and visit.
Oh.
I think that would be lovely. We would love that.
And I'll ask Miss Lisa to only send me the financials.
Sounds good. We welcome you back.
Thank you.
The best part of the whole package.
Great.
Okay, I better pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, and now, superintendent's report, we don't need that, do we?
No, yeah, I had a couple things, but, well, you know, Mr. Martinelli left the room, and I was going to give him a compliment on a couple of things here, but I did want to just point out a couple of things on our strategic plan that I think are really significant. If you look at the top of page 34, nearly the top of page 34, it's item number 12, completing a needs assessment of the crisis response processes and protocols in districts. And our team developed a crisis response manual for our region, which is it's really codifying and pulling together all of the important elements that are there, but also need to be revised and updated on a regular basis. And so really amazing work there, and really incredible for that team. And then you can see down below, one of the things that I think is important to do a shout out around is number 14 at the top of page 35, where sometimes we have big goals, and it's important to have big goals because even if you don't actually make the goal, you get a lot further along if you didn't have a big goal. And so this is one where I think it's important to say, you know, what we've completed, we're not quite there yet, but we really have been working on encouraging our Benton County districts to create a Benton County Youth Services team. The Youth Services team model has been going strong in Lynn County for a long, long time. And Benton County just does not have the same structure in place. And so I think we're getting closer with building that coalition, but there's some really good work that, you know, while we didn't get as far as we would like, we made some really good growth. So I think that's worth giving a look at. And then I have two other things. One is just giving you a document for those of you that will still be around next
No, wait a
month.
minute.
Oh, yeah.
Still be around?
Well, and the board, you know, yeah. There is, yeah, on page 36, I just wanted to take a minute to just put this out. I will bring this back to the board in July as well as a request. And so this is just for those board directors that will be continuing into July as something to consider. Looking at potentially moving the board directors meeting off of Wednesday. And I'm just going to share, this is purely an interest of mine to be able to contribute to my community. So 4 years ago, I moved to the city of Adair Village, and I have wanted to get involved in the volunteer fire department to be able to serve my community in that way. It wouldn't take away from my job. I actually met with the fire chief about a week and a half ago, and he said, well, with the exception of 1.5 FTE that they have that's paid staff there, everyone's a volunteer, and pretty much everyone has a full-time job, and they show up when they can. For the most part, they said they show up at the calls that are at night or on the weekends and that sort of thing. And it is something that's been an interest of mine, for a long time, and so I'm looking at exploring that. And the Wednesday evenings, every Wednesday evening from 7 to 10 p.m. is when they train. And so that's the reason for looking at a possible move of board meetings. So that's on page 36. And then the last thing is...
Is that something that has been, that we need to agree on or vote on?
What I was thinking, I'm just sharing with you now to give those of you that are here a chance to think about it a little bit more. I've actually met with all three of the new incoming board members and gave them a heads up about it. And I'll bring it back in July and then have the board that's going to be the new board decide at that point. Yeah. I figured that Jean and Roger and Jim probably didn't really need to vote on that.
But we will.
All right, guys.
But you can.
Yeah, I think we should.
Saturday, how about Saturday?
I'm just thinking, like, for the next board meeting, is there something that the board needs to vote on to agree to change it to Tuesday?
I think for the next board meeting, we can leave it on Wednesday, because that's when everybody was expecting, you know, to start, and,
Good question.
yeah, that's a good question, and then, I would just wait until I have a decision to be able to make a commitment to the.
Oh, yeah, because it does say July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm just thinking, like personally for me, like, because it has always been Wednesdays, that is also the agreement I have with my co-parent. So if changing something like this, I will have to change my plan.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, is this something that we get to vote as a body on a change like this?
Absolutely.
Because if Tuesday doesn't work for me and I'm not able to make it to the board.
This is merely a request from your superintendent, but they are your board meetings, and when the board decides to meet, I will be there. And so if Tuesday is not a day that works and it has to be on Wednesday, then that is okay. Like, my commitment, my number one commitment is being your superintendent. And so if they have to remain on Wednesdays, and if that's what the board's looking at, then I'll wait until I'm retired to be a volunteer fire department, firefighter, paramedic, whatever. So, there you go. Yeah, no worries.
Thursday an option as well.
Thursday could be an option as well.
Okay, so there's some flexibility.
There's flexibility, yeah. I mean, I would not recommend Fridays and not Saturdays, but, you know.
Monday might be a little rough too.
Monday could be rough. Yeah, I was actually thinking either Tuesday or Thursday, but, when I just talked to Lisa, she put together a draft, and we just picked one of the days. I leaned towards Tuesday just because there are many times when conferences are on Thursdays and Fridays, and then we would have to be careful about when, you know, the board would need to be out of town, or we'd have to work around when things like that would come up.
I'm fine with Tuesday.
I was gonna say, Jim's trying to help problem solve
Yeah.
even though
That's right.
it doesn't
Yeah.
affect you.
Hey, I'm still on the board, everybody.
That's right. You are still here.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're on your side, you know that, right?
That's right. Yes, it's all good. It's all good. Just a request.
Right.
My last thing, is not on the agenda, but I do want to take a moment and to thank, Jean and Roger and Jim for their service. It's an incredible, gift to give, your community, to give to the children and the school districts and the staff, in this region. For the record, I want to acknowledge that Jim's had 2 years of service, Roger 9 years of service, and Jean 11 years of service. And I think that's incredible when you just look on the face of it, but I also know that you three individuals volunteer in many other ways as well, and I would imagine there are dozens and dozens of years of service of serving in your community and all that you do. I can't say enough, it's been truly a pleasure and an honor to get to work with you in this capacity, and you're going to be missed incredibly. And so just little thank you cards for you, and then I just wanted to note that and see if there's anything that you would like to say, or if anybody else would like to say. I just wanted to.
Keeping the laptop.
You're keeping the laptop? Okay. good.
I would like to say a few words.
Yeah,
Just a
absolutely.
few. I came here because I thought it was an excellent organization for my experience with my kids. And since then, I think one of my high points was the opportunity to participate in hiring two of the best superintendents I've ever run into. And I think it's been an honor to be part of this group, part of this organization. And I love all the people that I have met here. They're terrific. So, thank you.
Thank you, Roger.
Well, I've seen administrators come and go, I've seen boards come and go. I was blessed when I first got back on, that was with Frank. And, I worked with David longer than Frank. And, but the group that I've had the pleasure and honor to work with has to be one of the very best ever, including my school district. And so it's an honor for me to know you guys and care about you, and thank you for the dedication and all the work. We come in once a month, except for
Amy comes in twice a week, Jim,
I
you know,
understand they have fun.
twice a week at times, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
understand.
But that's still gonna happen, right? You're still gonna bargain. You're gonna hang out, okay.
Yeah, so I hope we requisition cots for them. It takes a lot of dedication and work. You have to do your homework if you're going to do it, and this group does their homework. So I am honored to know all of you. You'll always be in my heart. I'll probably show up from time to time.
Yeah.
We would love that.
But I thank you all. It's been a wonderful experience.
Thank you, Jean. It's been so wonderful.
Just wanted to say that the three of you are all people, like, I'm excited for the people who are coming in. I think great people were elected, but I'm just on a personal level really bummed out to be losing the three of you. You guys are, it's just been a pleasure to get to know you over the last several years, and you just have such a heart for serving, and all of you I really respect and admire, and all three of you are people whose input and opinion and perspective I actively seek out, because I really respect you guys, and I value your opinion. So you have been very appreciated, and I really enjoyed being on the board with all three of you, and you will be very missed.
And I'm gonna go to Sorrow and grow my own.
Perfect. We should have gotten you a plan.
I did.
Okay, that's good.
It's not that kind of plan.
Not that kind of plan.
But, Jean, your sense of humor, that is like, you have such wisdom, but you also have such an amazing sense of humor. And I have so enjoyed every time anyone says anything about grow your own, I know to look right at you, because you're tuckling into your elbow, or turn around, or you're very subtle about it, but if you know, you know, and so I'm always.
But I would like to also thank Rocco. You should have been my math teacher 70 years ago. I might have learned something, seriously. Yeah.
You would be very, very good at this.
Anyway.
Yeah, thank you all.
I do
Yeah.
wanna say
Yeah.
something, and I do wanna say that I have enjoyed working with all three of you, and I've only been here 6 years, I don't know, I lost count. I've been here for a while, but when we have been working together, I love that we have created a space where I don't feel like I can't express how I want to show up. And you three have been so welcoming and so have really created that sense that we are here for our students, and I see that, and it shows. And so that's why right now I feel bad. I'm not gonna see you, but I know we're gonna stay connected. I have your guys' numbers. So I'm gonna also feel very grateful that we have done so much work in this organization, in this agency, where we have actually been innovative, and other districts have looked up to us because of the work that we do. And I'm proud to say that. I'm proud to say that we have an equity lens, that we have a lot of things put in place because of our inputs, and like Amy also said, our perspectives, our experiences. And I know with the new board, we're gonna have new perspectives, new ideas, new, you know, but I'm still sad that I'm not gonna see you, because this is my family too. And so I really appreciate all three of you, well, everyone, but it's gonna be, I'm not good with goodbyes, to be honest. Like, I don't like goodbyes.
It's not goodbye.
I'll see you later.
We're gonna get together and all come back the same night.
Yes. So.
Let us know what you wanna eat.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
No, this is when you least expect it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I do wanna say that this is not a goodbye. This is, we're gonna see you later, and you're gonna come back, I know, because you're gonna miss us too. Or worst case scenario, I'll go visit you and be like, where are you? Let's go get coffee. So, thank you for being in this space with us, and I'm gonna.
Well, I'm not good at goodbyes either, which is why I haven't said anything yet. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still gonna be in the community. This is hard. This is a hard thing to walk away from, but I'm trying to reframe it as I'm not walking away because I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just taking a break from this right now, which is hard. I've grown a lot and learned a lot in this 2 years, and it's been a really awesome experience, so thank you, everybody. Yeah, it's hard to leave.
You too. Appreciate you being here.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you all so much. Anyway, so we have it here for the information only, and dates of importance. July 16th, 2025, 4:30 to 5:30 is the financial work group. July 16th is next board meeting, 6 o'clock. Friday through Sunday, August 8th through 10th is the OSBA Association Summer Conference in Salem. I recommend do those things if you possibly can. Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, 4:30 to 5:30 is the financial work group again. They didn't get it right the first time. Wednesday, the 20th, 6 to 8 is the regular board meeting. Is there anything else to come before the board tonight?
I was gonna ask for clarification, are we actually having the financial planning work group 2 months in a row?
No, that is a typo.
I thought it might have been, but I wasn't.
That is a typo, yeah.
Be here anyway.
And what we probably.
Personally, Amy.
So Amy, when you see, one meeting a week in July and August, put on your calendar, it's Rocco, it's not me. We probably won't do it in July, knowing that, we'll get a chance for new board members to volunteer for superintendent work groups.
Or you could do an all-day session.
We can do that too.
13
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, 13, make sure it's 13 hours, yeah.
Okay, with
Great.
nothing else, have a great evening, and with that, we're adjourned.
Thank you.